Hi there, my fencing teists. So we're going to get to it. We're going to get to parries. The first parry is going to be Preen, because it's the first one in the traditional series, and then I'm going to go in order. But before I did that, I wanted to cover some basic fencing theory. And the theory is that there's a quadrant system on the body. You take the hips, and that is the division between the low line and the high line. And then you take the center line, and that's the division of the inside line and the outside line. Now, the center line is also going to be somewhat distinct in that you have a hand forward, or carrying a weapon, and that is going to describe the inside versus outside line to a degree also. In that, if it is going to be off the outside of the body, that's going to be the outside line, even though the only things you can really hit are the back and the outside of the leg. The inside line is going to be pretty much everything on the inside. But if you were covering the inside line, this is still going to be open, and that would be considered outside line also, so you need to bring the hand out to cover it. So it's a little dicey when you're looking at it from a line on perspective. Left side versus right side, it'll be the same thing. Left side, all this is going to be the inside line, all this is going to be the outside line. So it's still technically going off the center line coming forward. You need to bring the outside, or the hand to the outside to cover the outside line, but the outside line is going to be more than just the outside of the body. But in practice, that's kind of where they draw the distinction, if that makes any sense. So that center line, just keep that in mind, that the center line is the division of the outside line versus the inside line, with the outside line pretty much always being forward, and the waistline being the division between the low line and the high line. And everything else is going to cover or be covered by whether the hand is in pronation, meaning that the hand is down, or supination, meaning the hand is up. This is a much later distinction that was essentially created for point and line, small sword, and late rapier fencing, because the position of the hand did change certain things, and how you guarded the body, and also how you attacked the body. With that in mind, I will cover those factors with each parry, but I wanted you to know what that means when I say inside line versus outside line. So if your left hand is forward, you're fighting southpaw, the outside line is going to be everything that your hand needs to move out to cover, including the lead arm and the inside of the lead part of the chest, and the lead leg, outside and inside. And then the inside line is going to be the rear leg, and to a degree the inside of the lead leg. So that is going to be the parts of the body when I talk about inside line versus outside line. So if someone is throwing thug punches at you or random swings of a weapon, those are going to be attacking your outside line if it's coming from your dominant hand side, and inside line if it's coming from the other way. So if I have my right foot forward, the outside line is going to be coming from my right, and if it's left side forward, it's going to be coming from my left, and then the inside line is going to be coming opposite. And then the low line is going to be coming at the belt level or lower. So pretty much all kicks are going to be low line attacks, and if someone ducks and punches to your knee or your hip, that would also be a low line attack. It does happen. Leg scoops in that same vein. And then pretty much everything towards the head is going to be a high line attack. And then while most low line defenses will be with the legs, I do want to cover some low line hand techniques, because from the fencing perspective, especially later epee and foil, they would say that everything is going to be on the upper body, with the low line essentially being at the solar plexus to the waist. But overall, the high line, low line still counts. I would say that just keep that in mind as we go through the parries, and I will cover the specifics as we go on. Till then, keep your teacups empty.